I love it. It's so great. Oh, can you believe it? We just did the very last thing that we needed to do on this early model 99. You are going to need thread, a bobbin, a standard needle. This is just a standard size Schmetz needle, scissors, and some fabric to test sew on. Let's check out the bobbin winding first. And we're also going to check how this whole bobbin winding system is working. I want to make sure that the teeth mesh properly with this gear. I believe they do, but when I get it spinning at a higher speed, I'll really be able to tell. So the first thing we want to do, if it isn't already pressed down against the hand wheel, you want to engage your bobbin winder. We're not putting a bobbin on yet. We're going to take the stop motion knob on the end of the hand wheel, the silver knob, hold the hand wheel still and turn it counterclockwise until it stops. Now we can press our foot control or knee control if that's what you had. And look at this. I think this is running great. I'm actually pretty happy with that. Let's get a bobbin on. So to start, you want to look at your bobbin. There are two holes. One of these holes is going to match up with a little pin. You can kind of see it right there on the bobbin winder. Go ahead and slide it so that it's seated on the pin and then engage your bobbin winder. Once it's engaged, spin it so that the hole that you need to thread on the bobbin is kind of pointing up so you can access it. Place your spool of thread on, run the thread through the thread guide over here, this thread guide right here. Then it's going to come up through the little opening here on the bobbin winder, and then it's going to go through this cutout. Now, it might be easier for you if you go ahead and get that thread through the hole in the top of the bobbin first, and then thread up those other parts. Now it is ready for us to wind it. Just make sure everything stays in place. I'm going to start slowly. That was the tail of my thread getting hung up. That's my own fault. Once I've got it wrapped a couple times back and forth, I can trim this off. I can cut that off now. Now, I am looking to make sure that my bobbin's winding evenly, and it is, so I'm going to continue to wind just a little bit more thread. That's enough for this. If I filled my bobbin, once it was full, the thread would push against this little part right here, and it would push it away from the machine. But you can also do it by hand, and that's what I did in this case. So now I am ready to take my bobbin off, and you can see it wound nice and even. I'm just going to cut it, and this is ready to go into the machine. Before we do anything else, take your little stop motion knob, turn it all the way clockwise to the right until it stops. Let's get this into the machine. We're just going to slide open our needle plate. We're going to take our bobbin. Do you see how it's winding counterclockwise? I'm going to drop it into the machine that way. And then I'm just going to hold my bobbin still and pull on the thread until it goes into the little cutout here and kind of back like that. I'm not going to close this just yet. We need to get a needle in the machine next. Now, the flat side of the needle on these machines goes to the right. So we're just going to find that little opening, and it helps if your needle bar is up in its highest position. Make sure that your needle doesn't spin around, and make sure that you have it up all the way, and then you can tighten down that thumb screw. I can still see the flat spot here, and it definitely is to the right, and my needle is nice and tight. Now let's thread this up the rest of the way. So we already have our thread in the first thread guide. We are going to take our thread and put it between our two tension discs. You need to have your foot up for this. I'm holding the thread up top so I have tension on the thread. I'm sliding it between the two discs, and then I'm pulling it all the way around until the thread goes behind this little spring here. Then I'm bringing it down and under this little hook. There is a hole in this hook. Do not put the thread through that hole. Just put it under the hook. And now watch. If I hold my thread here still, see my spring move? That's what we want. Now I can run this thread through the little eyelet here on the thread take up. Just make sure everything stays in place. And then over here on the side is a little loop that you want to snap the thread behind. Now, there's another thread guide on this machine. It's right here. And that is it for the thread guides on this machine. What's nice is if you cannot remember if you're supposed to thread your machine left to right, right to left, it feels like none of them are ever the same. The thread guide here is on the left side. That is a good way to remember this threads left to right. If it were on the other side, that would make more sense, right? It would be going right to left. But in this case, left to right, and the thread guide will help you remember that. So now we can thread our needle, just like that. And now I want to put my foot down so I have some tension. Now, I'm not sure where the tension is set on this. This is not a numbered dial. So once you set it the way you like it, you probably will not ever want to touch it. But I want to see if my needle thread's going to catch my bobbin thread. And it may take more than one pass, but there we go. Do you see that? It's passing around the bobbin case. And here is our thread. Awesome. Now that that is pulled up, I'm going to go ahead and slide my needle plate closed. Guess what we can do next? We can make some of our first few stitches with this machine. I don't know how my tension is set. We'll figure it out if it needs to be adjusted. I'm going to start with the longest stitch length. Let me show you. So I have my dial turned in all the way. That's going to give me the longest stitch length. If I back it out, I'm going to get shorter ones. But to start, I'm going to go with the longest stitch length. I also want to make sure, because I took this machine apart, that I do have adequate pressure on my presser foot. Sometimes people will start to sew for the first time and they think there's something wrong, and really they just didn't tighten this down enough. So obviously this is an adjustment depending on how thick or thin and fine your fabric is, but make sure it is at least adequately screwed down. So turn on this light. I don't know how the camera is going to like this light. Sometimes we get a funky look. We'll see how it goes. So I've got my fabric under. I have it set at the longest stitch length. I'm not sure about my tension, so I've just kind of got it where I think it feels okay. And I'm going to press my foot control. Oh, what a beautiful sound. I think my tension is a little bit tight, and I've got some funky loops back here. Just to be sure, I'm going to tighten the tension and see if that's all it is, because I have to get used to this machine. I feel like that's really, really tight. Now it could be the bobbin or it could be the upper tension, but let's take a look. So once I tightened it down, the stitch got better. You can see all the loops, but there is something else that could be the issue, and that is, let me show you. this cheap thread, believe it or not, can be an issue. So I'm going to swap out the thread, re-thread the machine with a little bit better quality thread, and see if I still have the same problem. Now my microphone died, so I'm just using the camera mic, but the little screw right here is the one that I want to loosen a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit. Now, the other thing that I think could be the problem is the actual bobbin itself. So I'm going to eject this bobbin. I use this one to wind some thread to show you guys how to do it, but it's actually kind of old and a little bit rough. So just to make sure that it's not the bobbin, I'm going to put a different one in. So here we go. This one's in a little bit better shape. I'm just going to drop it in, hold the bobbin still, pull the thread back. That might be a little bit better. Let's catch this thread and pull it up. I didn't put the foot down. You can do that without putting the foot down, but generally you should put the foot down. I'm just going to check that. It is a little bit tight still. I don't want to loosen it too much. See how that feels. Let's try that. So trial and error, and lots of things to consider when you are first sewing on your machine. Whether it's new to you or whatever you've done to it, it could be so many different things when your stitches start looking wonky. So let's see how she goes now. I still have it set to the longest stitch. I know I shouldn't say again how I love how it sounds, but man, it does sound beautiful. Okay, moment of truth. Okay, now we are cooking with gas. That looks beautiful. Let me get a new piece of fabric and let's start over. Okay, so new piece of fabric, lowering my foot, longest stitch length. I'm going to run a few stitches at this stitch length and then I'm going to shorten it. And we'll just make a turn here. I think that tension is much better. So I'm going to that little knob for the stitch length, just bringing that out a little bit. And you want to test all the different stitch lengths, because sometimes your tension issues won't show up on certain stitch lengths. Perhaps my bobbin tension is still a little bit tight. I'm going to make a little bit shorter stitch. And even shorter. All right, let's take a look. Do you see? I feel like that looks just a little bit puckery. And maybe a few little funky things going on. When you're sewing just on 2 layers of fabric, do you see the little black dots here? It is not possible to totally get rid of the upper thread showing through on the lower thread. Sometimes that just doesn't happen. I think that I could maybe tighten my upper tension a little bit, but I also really feel like I need to loosen the lower tension on the bobbin case just a little bit more. Okay, let's keep it at that shorter stitch length. Oh, that pulls away nice. Maybe we fixed it. Let's look at the back. Yep. Perfect. I love it. Oh, this is so wonderful. Let's do a few more just for fun. Right here, so beautiful. I love it. It's so great. Oh, can you believe it? We just did the very last thing that we needed to do on this early model 99. It took a year. And isn't she just lovely? Do you remember what she looked like? Can you remember what your machine looked like when you first started? I hope that it is now a beauty, just like this gorgeous early model Singer 99. So let's talk. Well, to say the least, this has been quite a journey, and I have enjoyed every moment of it with you. We did it. We restored this early model Singer 99. I hope that whatever machine you had that you were working on alongside with me, you had so much success. I can't tell you how much I appreciated all of you who watched and commented on these videos. Hopefully your machine is sewing beautifully just like this one. It's going home now. Finally, after over a year. I never planned for a series to take this long, but that's what happened. It did. I probably will not bite off such a big project next time around. Some of you might know I was doing 2 different models of 99s at the same time. So that kind of contributed to the longer time frame in finishing the series. Either way, it's done. I thank you so much. If you are wondering what is next, put a comment down below what you would like to see. I think maybe a 201 series, maybe. But I might just do a few helpful videos on all sorts of topics that I've been getting questions about for a little break before we start a new one. Anyway, I wish all of you the very best. Thank you so much for following along. I'll see you guys again really soon. Bye.